In this table template, the pure figure columns of absolute and relative variances are replaced by waterfall bars and pins. Table template 4 is based on the same data as template 3. Here the pure figure columns of absolute and relative variances are replaced by waterfall bars and pins. Bars for absolute variances, red equals negative, green equals positive, pins for relative variances, red equals negative, green equals positive. Dimensions. Dimensions are limited on maximum 3 dimensions. First dimension should be an array of strings that contain some sort of descriptions, for example an array which contains country names. Second dimension should be an array of strings that contains the type of the rows that will be displayed. This dimension should only contain the strings. L stands for non-total and non-bolded rows. T stands for total and bolded rows. Third dimension should be an array of numbers that contains the cost type of the rows. This dimension should only contain the numbers. 1 stands for profit rows, -1 stands for cost rows. Measures. Measures are limited on maximum 2 measures. First measure, calculation of the previous year. Second measure, calculation of the actual year. Appearance. Appearance tab consists of couple tabs in chart 2 representing following settings: settings, number formatting, titles and description, font, colors, comments, layer settings, layer colors, Excel export, PDF export. Number of rows that user wants to be displayed on the chart. If is not specified, will be return all rows from data model. Description width, the property can contain the values from 1 to 3, 1. Small description width, 2. Normal description width, 3. Large description width. Description align, the property can contain the values from 1 to 3, 1, left, move the description on the left side, 2, center, move the description on the middle, 3, right, move the description on the right side. Row height, defines the row height in pixels. Number align, the property can contain the values of 1 to 3, 1, left, align the numbers on the left side, 2, center, align the numbers on the middle, 3, right, align the numbers on the right side. Title align, the property can contain the values from 1 to 3, 1, left, move the title on the left side, 2, center, move the title on the middle, 3, right, move the title on the right side. Suppress empty, the property, can be activated with checking or unchecking the checkbox or with expression button, FX, the property can contain next values, 0, show all rows, 1, show only the rows which have a description, when dimension 1 is not null or empty. Percentage limit, defines the percentage limit of the percentage bars. If value of the bar is bigger than the value specified in this property, it will show an arrow. For example, if the user set property to 100, then all percentage bars which value is greater than 100 will have a triangle arrow, without the small percentage box. Line type, first and second line type property can contain next values. 1, represents AC, actual period, 2, represents PL, plan period, 3, represents FC, forecast, 4, represents PY, previous year, 5, represents layer user 1, 6, represents layer user 2, 7, represents layer user 3. Show total row, the property can be activated with checking or unchecking checkbox or with expression editor using following values: 0, hide total row, 1, show total row. Show variances, the property is used to show or hide the variance in chart, can be activated with checking or unchecking the checkbox or with expression button, FX, using following values: 0, hide variances, 1, show variances. Difference lower value, defines which values, numbers will be displayed in a color that the user defined in the property difference lower color. This property only affects difference columns. For example, if the difference lower value is 50, and the difference lower color is red, all numbers that are less or equal 50 will be colored in red. Difference upper value defines which values, numbers will be displayed in a color that the user defined in the property difference upper color. This property only affects difference columns. For example, if the difference upper value is 100, and the difference upper color is green, all numbers that are less or equal 100 will be colored in green. Percentage lower value defines which values, numbers will be displayed in a color that the user defined in the property percentage lower color. This property only affects percentage columns. For example, if the percentage lower value is 50, and the percentage lower color is red, all numbers that are less or equal 50 will be colored in red. Percentage upper value defines which values, numbers will be displayed in a color that the user defined in the property percentage upper color. This property only affects percentage columns. For example, if the percentage upper value is 100, and the percentage upper color is green, all numbers that are less or equal 100 will be colored in green. Show bar border property give more visual presentation of the bars. Surrounding the bars with the border. Border can be defined with different colors. In section color, selecting the property border color, user can use different colors. Scaling visualization consists of two components. There is space where data is displayed, and then the objects that represent the data. The point is that size of the value represented with bars is very important. The scaling drastically affect the visualization, and the story that it tells. In chart 2 are representing 4 scaling option for different user needs. Manually use of scaling, using drop-down menu and selecting manually, you set property to 0, then the bar scaling depend of amount. Bar length, percentage amount and percentage bar length property, auto scaling, using from menu you set the property to 1, that is mean that bar scaling is automatically calculated. Use of scaling, you set the property to 2, this property is used for writing scaling by absolute value. Defined expression, is set property to 3 and is used to controlling scaling trot expression. Number format are used to control the display of cell values that contain numeric data. Using the button with questionnaire, will be displayed predefined formats. With simple click on desired format, you can copy and paste in the property. Separators, 2 separators, are available in section number format, and that is, thousand and decimal separators. Thousand abbreviation, if is used K, in the property, then the value of 1000 would be displayed as 1K. Million abbreviation, if is used M, in the property, then the value of 1 million will be displayed as 1M. Billion abbreviation, if is used B, in the property, then the value of 1 billion will be displayed as 1B. Trillion abbreviation, if is used T, in the property, then the value of 1 trillion will be displayed as 1T. Title 1 defines the title of the first line. If this property is empty, then the first line title will take the layer description. Title 2 defines the title of the second line. If this property is empty, then the second line title will take the layer description. Total description defines the description of the total. For example, if the user set description property to sum, then description of the total will be replaced with sum. Font, a selection of fonts, as well as changing their properties, are placed in the font menu. This menu contains the following properties, that control the properties of tooltip as well: font, size, font color, tooltip font, tooltip size, tooltip font color. Color, a selection of color, as well as changing their properties, are placed in the color menu. This menu contains the following properties: background, defines the background of the extension; hover color, defines the color on bar hovering; difference lower color, defines which values will be displayed in a color that the user defined in the property difference lower color. This property only affects difference columns. For example, if the difference lower color is red, and the difference lower value is 50, all numbers that are less or equal 50 will be colored in red. Difference upper color defines which values will be displayed in a color that the user defined in the property difference upper color. This property only affects difference columns. For example, if the difference upper color is green, and the difference upper value is 100, all numbers that are less or equal 100 will be colored in green. Percentage lower color defines which values will be displayed in a color that the user defined in the property percentage lower color. This property only affects percentage columns. For example, if the percentage lower color is red, and the percentage lower value is 50, all numbers that are less or equal 50 will be colored in red. Percentage upper color defines which values will be displayed in a color that the user defined in the property percentage upper color. This property only affects percentage columns. For example, if the percentage upper color is green, and the percentage upper value is 100, all numbers that are less or equal 100 will be colored in green. Bar border color, positive color, defines the color of the positive values. Negative color defines the color of the negative values. Neutral color defines the color for the values that are between difference lower and upper value. Layer settings, properties to define values for maximum of tree users. To set up users must be selected property, behind bar type, left front bar type, or right front bar type for specific user. Example, select in the behind bar type user 1, in the layer settings add value, and set up color for the user. Layer colors, define colors for the users. Comments and exports. With this chart are available comment and export functionality. For those functionality to work, have to be installed on same or dedicated server comments API and export API.